came out better than we expected. So the E28, I told you guys we battled with the paint because the paint was actually wet. But after blasting, look, it shows that the paint was very thick, number one, right? And there is a couple of colors underneath here. So we've still got a lot to prep up. But the body on the car is actually very good. So I didn't want to strip out the windows. I didn't want to strip out the bearings before before blasting. So we've changed over the sand. We've changed the media over and we're trying to play around with the different medias. And you can actually feel this guy's not as pitted as the others. So, Lush, I don't know if you can get in here. I want to show the viewers here quickly how thick the build-up is here. And you can see the gap between here and here. You can see what the guys try to do is they try to build up. This here looks like filler to the height of the fender, basically. So it's very thick. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to come and take the beadings off nicely, take the windows off, take the rubbers off, mask the car decently on the inside, and then we're going to come manually strip out all the paint. Basically, I've asked them not to do the roofs because we found that they are warping the roofs quite a bit. So we'll have to come into the roofs, take off these beadings here, run the corners through, and run the basically manually paint strip the car. Around the door beadings on the inside here and so on like that. So it is quite a bit of work, but the paint was so thick on this guy and so wet on this guy that we just kept on clogging up all abrasive materials like within. The only crappy thing is now after the blasting we've got a shitload of cleaning to do on the vehicle. So sand, walnut gets in everywhere. Let's just go through the car quickly. So the car, you can see the car doesn't have major body filler, and I don't know what's the reason of them. I don't know if this is the paint that's built up so thick here. Look here. This is paint and it's quite thick. So, obviously we're going to do a lineup on the car beforehand. Right? But look here, the panels are good. Fenders, doors, the fenders are good. There's no major body filler on the cars. There's no major dents on the car. This side here, same story. So where we're going to spend a lot of time is basically just cleaning this car up. It's starting to flash rust here, so I need to start moving as fast as possible on it. The interior, the engine bay, we tried to blast as fast as we could just to get most of the grime out because paint stripping this idea is actually painstaking. And this guy's actually as good as, it's better than I really thought it was. I think it was just painted really shitty, where it looked like the car looked bad. So what I'm gonna do is now what we're gonna do is just remove the harness, remove the brake boosters, remove all of that, clean up the interior properly. I think on this car we are doing suspension. We are gonna do a full suspension build on it because we are gonna do an engine upgrade on this car. So we're starting with this one here soon, and I actually have to get it into primer as fast as possible. Then the Japan car came out actually not too bad. It's got a couple of issues, but nothing major. So we're actually looking at, we are on bare metal now, so I can't leave the cars on bare metal for too long. And I've got to make a decision to say some of the cars are on bare metal and they're still in fabrication. And I don't really want to get a primer on it or anything of the sort because to prep up from there again and clean up from there is a mission. So we want to try and get the work done on bare metal and then from there head straight over into our stages of primers. I might actually look at throwing this car into the primer phase faster than the others. So it's a bit unfair to other customers, but this car doesn't have as much work on it. So it just needs a couple of days of fabrication and then basically into blocking. And we've also got a pile up in fabrication. So I might just dump this car in quicker than usual. So let's just go through this one here quickly. So obviously the rear floors, I've just got to push down. I've got to bend it out properly, and that's because of transporting. This is one of the downfalls of transporting. But the only major issues that I find on the car is that there was a rust repair done here. So we're gonna opt for basically pulling out the original sound deadening, and the shape of the sound deadening is actually different to the South African versions. So we're gonna pull out the sound deadening, and then we're going to start working in this area. So it's both the front corners, so on that side there as well, right? It's a little bit of a tricky part because you can actually see here now, here's one plate here, there's another plate over there and another plate over here, and then we need to see what's going on underneath here, right? And don't forget, this is the passenger side now. That's the driver's side. This guy's left-hand drive. So we're gonna repair there, repair over there, and then on the right-hand side of the car, there's a couple of small dents on the fenders. Yeah, but this is workable. That's how you work out. The interior base, the engine bay is actually very nice on the car. The one mistake that I made is the stickers. I left the stickers on and I sent the car for blasting. So I need to try and make a plan to. I've taken pictures of them, but I need to get the stickers made up again. And it's okay, we need to get fresh stickers on them. But I was a bit stupid on that, so that's my fault. Again, on this car here, we didn't opt to do the roof. We'll do a manual strip on the roof. This is where the major work is actually going to come in now. So you can have a look here and see how this here was covered up before. So this whole arch, it looks like it was repaired twice. So there's a repair here. There's a repair all the way down to here. You can see a weld here. There's another weld here. This is a seam. There's a weld here and no more seam. So this area's got to get taken care of. Then I need to figure out how we're going to do this guy here. It's the first time us really doing an arch. So this thing could have got side smash sometime in its life, and you can see the rubberizers actually pulled away here. So loose checker. See here. The rubberizers actually pulled off here, so you can see they worked in this area here before. So I don't really know what they've done there. What I do know is we've got to work on this area now. So we've got to. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do because I don't have the plan for it now. But we've got to fabricate over here, fabricate this wheel arch again. And then obviously build this guy up. So this is like this is the worst corner of the car. Then we've got a little bit of rust forming. So we've got putting starting, right? And something also happened over here. This is a stitch in here. And then we're just going to come further down into here and see what is going on here. This is a stitch in here. There's a little bit of rust forming here. And before you move over, Lush, here's another stitch over here. So the thing is, I can see the stitch here. I can't see where the top part of the stitch is. Unless this whole panel sorry, I'm just trying to figure out here. Okay, this whole panel was removed. So it looks like this whole panel was removed before this left fender. Because we're seeing stitching over here. Here's a stitch here. Right? We've got a stitch over here. You can see the original seam here has got filling. This it doesn't look like bracing because bracing normally changes color under blasting. Stitch here, bracing over here. And if you have a look here, they've tried to take it off on the original seam before, but you can see this here was tempered with before. So the bracing, there's normally bracing that you'll find over here, and the bracing looks similar to this here. Right? It's taken over here. Now this is the original one here. And it looks like, it doesn't look like it's taken off by the spots. Okay, I'm not gonna try and investigate this here. But obviously we're gonna need to go further, and you can see on the, so this here is the back left hand side of the car, which is the driver's side of the car. Right? Remember, left hand drive. The back left is the area that actually needs quite a bit of work. So this car will have to go into fabrication, so I might not dump this here in as fast as I thought I would. Nonetheless, still a very good car, still a nice car to work with. The sound deadening on this car is totally different to the rest. And you can see how thick the padding is here. It's actually almost 1.5 centimeters, maybe 2 centimeters thick of padding here. And this is, we don't normally see this in the South African cars. So again, you can see the media everywhere. And that's one of the killers. It takes us like almost a bloody week to turn this car upside down on the rotisserie, back on its floor again, upside down, back onto its floor. Here's another stitches here. Something happened, I don't know what. But it's not butchered, you know what I'm saying? This, you can actually see the difference in workmanship. See, all over here. And then here's another rust spot here. Here's another repair here. Over here. So I think what we're going to do is let's get the car basically onto the left of the rotisserie. And start assessing it from there. But really not a bad car. It has been repaired before, but nothing major. So I would like to get this car in as fast as possible because the black IS, the black 333 is actually still waiting for blasting. And I was gonna do the black 333 and this car. Okay, let's see. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Bare metal again. Full of cars, and you can see other guys are pushing on. So we've got nothing basically in preparation at this point. We've just got everything in fabrication, everything in metal filing, metal filling. And the guys actually looked now and they said, ish, when the cars start coming into the prep bay, they're actually going to be piled up. So which is a good thing, but it screws up with our cycle. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit the share button, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Cheers, guys.